Alright, back at the house. This is my gigantic 40-acre backyard. Includes a shed, a goal, and a couple of lounge chairs. This is where we all sit and chill, stay outside. A little compost back there. But today I'm going to try to paint this plant that you see, and we do it on a 16 by 20. And so let's get this going because the daylight is going down. So hopefully I can get at least maybe half or more done, but let's see how it goes. Okay, we're going to sketch this thing in. I think I might have forgot to push record. So I'm going to make this a square-ish table. I don't know. I'm not sure. Now I'll tell you what, I'm going to make the decision to make it go to here. Maybe we'll make it go a little lower. I'm going to follow the same line because I just had it on there. Alright. Then, so my middle is going to be somewhere out in here. So that means the actual plant's right about here. The vase, top. Is about half. From here to here to here to here is about half. I can measure with my thumb. That's about right to the back. So if I go here to here to here to here, this is the back. So that means we are having about this much deep. Goes right there. About like so. So I'm going to put this in as a hard line. This is definitive, it's not going to change. And this, I might even keep these real, well, this might go dark. Let's put the shadows in. I think my time is about 4 something. And so this goes right about there with the plant. Does not follow this edge. It follows more of a pointing edge, like so. And there is going to be a drop like that. And then shadow comes here and does go ever so slightly bigger because this is thicker. I need to adjust some of this just slightly. Oh, okay. I think that's good. Now there are some shadows that creep over. These are like subjective if you want to put them in or not. There's one here. I can move this other one. I mean, do I really want that one or not? Probably not. Okay, shadows for the vase. There's a nice room light, a nice highlight. The light side goes right about there. There are some other semi-shadows coming over here. That's about it. There's some like a rim light going right here. That's for the dirt. That's about it. All this other space is going to be different. So we're going to come in and do where we do have one leaf. It's going like this. Comes out to here. And we got another leaf. That goes out to kind of lobes, starting right about there. And then almost gets to the edge, but we're not going to let it. And this one, I kind of push it over that stem there. Just coming towards us, like so. Then we have one that is right here. There's another one here. This other one's going right here. This one's a big one. Has a flat top. Well, kind of like that. And this one sees a lot of glare from the sun. And there's another leaf here. So these are pretty much the leaves that we'll have in our painting. This one goes here. That's there. Then we'll have another one right about here. And it's kind of thin. And then another one right here. This one does show some highlight there. This one's a nice arc. Like so. And there's another one right here. Like so. And this one does take a dive to about there. And then it goes there. This stem dives behind that plant. And that's basically it. So let's go ahead and start blocking this in. I know it looks kind of Oh, there's a fly. So I said I was going to do this high key. Let's see how high I can get this. Okay, let me go ahead and clean my brush. I'll tell you what. While I still have this paint on here, I'm going to brown it a little bit, yellow it a little bit, and then white. This is going to start off as a basis. I'm going to gray it a little. Alright, so this is pretty much going to be, let's go ahead and darken it just a little bit more. The darkest it gets. Okay. And I'm going to go I think we're going to go from light to dark. So maybe I go ahead and start off down here. So this is oil I'm painting with. A little orange in there, I mean a red. I need some mileage with my oil paint. Oh, I can move my palette here. Alright. I'm not going to be using these lines. I'm just going to go up to these lines here. Okay, there are bits of I'm going to try to capture sunlight raking across our yard with some parts of it. I'm going to go up with gray, adding a little bit of the blue, this King's blue. And then I'm going to come in our light is moving so fast, and I'm focusing on the background. And I'm pretty much running out of paint. So I need to try to match the paint I had. I'm trying not to go above a medium. There's no paint, there's no leaves there. Hopefully y'all can see this. This might get a little darker as we go towards evening, because the sun is ever so gently going down. want to use the brush to kind of mark out where stems are needing to be. This is kind of a medium key painting. I think so. Alright, let's get this done. I kind of want some of this to go completely over. I think we're going to have to come back and finish this tomorrow. Okay, now we're going to, I'm going to line it up just a hair. A little bit of blue, a little bit of this green. It's just a little bit more. More vibrant. A little bit more vibrant color. I think I want to keep some of these blank areas. I think that's good. As we come, I'm going to come down. I'm going to darken it just a bit. Gray it out a little. These edges can be a little crisper. So this one. We'll come over. We're 18 minutes in to our painting. Maybe as we come up, throw in some green. Alright. Going a little bit more bolder, throwing some orange. Kind of really like these lighter tones coming in. This one really needs to be like so. Okay, then that, and then we're going to think I'm going to really lighten those areas that don't have anything in them. Really chunking the white. Just going to fill in the blank. At least most of the blanks. And then a little bit more yellow. Okay. Alright, let's start off with a mellow blue. Side. It's kind of a green. Oh, almost knocked over that. Now let's go with a more purple-ish salad. And I'm going to lay this on. A little bit more purple. To pause here. This is pretty much seeing some more purplish tones here, and then as we go more inward it kind of darkens up a little bit. Okay. And we'll apply just a little bit darker there. Okay. We can probably fill in the rest, but I need a clean brush and probably clean in the palette. We could probably fill in the rest of the table. Yeah, I think so. Well, let's continue I want more of a reddish. I'm going to pull more of a red into it. It does have some green tones in this gray. I'm going to leave part of it like I marked. And there was a rim light on there, so I'm just going to kind of go like this. And as we go to the left, I want to not quite fill that in. I'm going to go up in the middle, just like so. So we hit the top. This section needs to have green within it, and I think it needs to be more of a blue-green. Blue and green within the same tone. Is it showing blue-green? It's more of a yellow-green, so I need a little bit more blue. That's about right. And it kind of goes like so. This half goes even lighter, unfortunately. I need to abandon that brush. I'm going to line it up a little bit, right on the very edge. Let's see. Oh, gotta go a little bit more. Okay, I think we're good. Let's fill this in. And then we just, and then it goes just a slightly darker. I'm going to hit that part. Like so. Now our dark. Remember, we weren't going to go any darker than the brown. So this is going to be it, right? I'm trying not to go any darker than this. I'm going to use that value. And we can blast through these stems. I'm going to have a rim light. I call a lot of this stuff rim light, don't I? Well, we're going to have to put that in manually. Okay, that's the darkest of that. And now we fill in that. And I think I can confidently do that. So let me clean the brush off and the table. Before I do that, I'm starting to see areas in here that just need to be fixed. I'm just going to blast this off and chisel that off and continue there. And go straight down here. Maybe even go up. This is just, I think can go off. there. Right? Okay. So now let's do the base of the table. We can just fill that in real quick. Okay, so I clean my brush off. I'm going to start with white because I want the color to be wide, and it is a very let's see. So it's a little complicated. I'm going to start off with yellow as my cleanest colors. And the yellow that I see needs to be here. And here. And I think I'm going to slowly move down the line to there. Everything else slowly starts to add green. Add this bluey green to it. So just a little bit. And then we just start to fill in everything from here to the left. With some of that color. But as we go, I'm going to start slowly adding a little bit more blue. And then as I add more blue, I'm going to make this transition even longer. I'm trying to make it very light. Not quite there. Okay. Alright, so just a tiny bit, beep beep, that's good enough. Mixing it in with all the white. I'm going to fill it all in. Okay, so just a little bit of medium. So I got this dip of ground cover coming into the table, but I want to cut over it, so I gotta plow over the top of it. Okay. This side is warmer. I'm going to use the same color, I think. I don't think I want to use the green. I don't want any green. So I'm going to drop this brush. Let me clean it real quick. Okay. So I was trying to avoid the green, so I want to get a little bit more on the orangier side, a little bit of the orange, and a chunk load of white. This is a little bit more richer than that color. And I'm literally going to fill this whole thing in. And try to go over that line. And then tomorrow, since the light literally is gone, I could paint them in as like it is, but I don't think it would read as well if they were actually in the light. Okay, so that's coming down. So what I'm going to do is, using the same color, I'm going to bleed it out as much as I can in here. Very carefully, I'm going to come down like so. Like some of this color is coming in and reflecting. Back into the paint. I think so. Let me wipe some of that off. This is too hard of an edge. I'm going to come back and just lighten it up a little. I'm going to have to mix that up. And I think I want it to curve out a little bit more. Alright. I think that's it for now. So my goal was to block most of this in. And the simulated dark to light. More light over here in the background, even though it's not really there. I thought that would help enliven the situation of making something look a little bit more interesting. And we might need to clean some lines while we're here. This part over here is a little too far over. And then this guy, this really does need to go pretty close. Like that. And then tomorrow will be the remainder. We'll have to drop by, have to come back, I think about 4, 4:30 to do the rest. And that would be to fill in these. And I think I could probably safely if I can match this color. Oh, gotta go a little lighter. Let's see if I can go about there. It's about right. Two. Filling that. Okay. That's it for now. So I get to clean up. Stay tuned for the next half. Well, I mean, the next half's literally going to be cut into the video. Alright, so this is the second day. I think I started a little later in the day because the sun is coming this way. This patch of sun is going to slowly move this way, and then it's going to kind of go whoop, go away. So we don't have too much time to finish this. And I already see right away I do have this a little higher, actually. Yep. But I think that's fine. It still has the same effect. I do need to edit this and make this a little bit more crisper so it lines up. So let me just go ahead and do that. And then we'll start doing the, well, I'll tell you what, that's something I could do later. These leaves I need to do now. So let's go ahead and start. The plant is still in the same spot, same configuration. Let's just start adding some color to the leaves. Okay, let me get the brush. I'm using the same brushes. Same brushes. They haven't been cleaned. And I gotta get, haven't really laid out everything, but you could see a little bit about what's going on here. I'll just use this paint, this little lid. Let me put some of this in here. This is going to be good enough. A lot of times I'll just take this and dip this in here just to kind of get the paint to loosen up if it was drying any. Clean off the brush. Already getting some bugs pop up here and there. The video might enhance these colors a little bit more than what I'm seeing, but I'll show you the finished painting when it's photographed. Alright, so let's start with the brightest green, which is a nice medium green. This paint is quite stiff. So add just a little bit. So our brightest green. I'm going to form this one right here. There's one right there. I think that's fine. We'll just put this in. This is going behind the pot. So I want to follow. There's a stem there in the way. Boom. Okay, done. Let's go up here. Let's see. I'm not exactly sure. I might fill this one in. This came up here. There's a leaf here. A leaf here. This needs to be filled in. Okay. So about like that. Alright. Even brighter than that is this leaf over here, which I'm fine with that. And even the leaf stem that's coming in there is going to be light, so I'm going to go like that. That's good. Everything else is going to be darker than this, darker than this. So I'm going to reach into the ultramarine a little bit. Make some quick decisions here. Going to go here. Here. Well, this is even darker. Yeah. I'm trying to make some definitive values to work from. At least that's what I'm calling them. Like simple values. This is going to be different. And this one, I'm going to go pale with that one. It's just to kind of, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. Just going, it's wanting to curve up a little. Right there. And that's going to be a blast of bright green, or no, bright white, or just gonna go a lot lighter there. Okay, let's go with just a darker green. Ooh, it's windy out here. This is the darkest one, so actually, I think to help this leaf really punch out, I'm going to make it pretty dark. Maybe not that dark, but close. Sometimes these values are subtle and they gotta go just right. And over here. A little paler here. These values over here, and these leaves over here. Well, your video, well, the video you're seeing is different than what I see. The values are different. So what you're seeing is going to be different than what I'm seeing. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. So this needs to be a little chalky. Once we go in here, I think that is good. Actually, the back side of that leaf is what I want. And this one has a little more green there. These leaves are already starting to change because the light's shifting, so it's this one I'm going to put the values really close to being the same as the background. Right there. Okay, now, and then this. It's more on the yellow side. I want to put it right like so. And then what's underside is a little bit more redder. Alright. Now let's get some white. Like so. Okay. Let me clean my brush. Yeah, these these leaves are always changing. So the window of opportunity is very slim. We're talking minutes. So all this needs to go a little bit darker. I think I want to enliven this. I am chasing the color a bit, but I kind of feel this color needs to go darker. And this needs to go lighter. Let me clean my brush. This lighter green into here. This yellow green. See, I was chasing little spots. And they're flapping. This is going to go dark. So that's going to go dark, and all in here I got to fill in. That I got to fill back in. Trying to practice not blending as far as going back over and over and over and over. Okay. Now I'm slowly locking into these colors. They twist, they get another color, they get more sun, they get less color if the shadow gets on top of it. I need to make them look more transparent. And that's going to involve getting lots of white and yellow. To do the lines here. This is going to help. Really want to connect. I'm just going to change this one. Okay, let me get a little more. And let me get. I'm gonna put the rim with some light on the back side of that right there, and I want to make it a little orangey. That's just right. So let me fill in some of these voids. Let's get this nice brush here. And some brown. Just need to match this color. here I can just go ahead and cut in to this whole mess. Like so. And I'm going to push some darks in here. But you just have to be a little careful. And so I try to continue some of these darks like they went through behind. I have to pay attention to these shapes. Okay. Alright, so I really like this one light part just poking out right there. It's like a really light, it's almost like this tone. So I'm going to try to get this tone in some of these leaves. Let me get a different brush. This one's fine. Well, I'll tell you what, let me just use this other one. Okay. Got my brush here. I'm going to start off with the white, a little bit of the blue, and I have a little bit of a trace of that green in there, so that's fine. And I want I'm going to go like this. so. Still want this one to. Okay, some highlights that I'm seeing. So some of this I need to go back into the background. Actually, I want to cut into there. So I'm trying to make those definitive as an individual shapes. Reestablish that there. I know this leaf has totally changed. Okay, I think I'm good with that. Maybe even put like so. So let's try to get now. Oh, I'm just literally going to make this even wider. And then use that same light. Come down here. And then a little bit of this does start to glow more. Alright, and then there's a rim right here. Now I need to put in some stems. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Let me change my brush. I think I do have a nice skinny one here. That'll make for a decent yellow ochre. I'm going to flow right into it. Some white. Actually, Probably even get some brown and go back into the yellow ochre. Okay. These stems are not all straight, so I'm going to try to do that. And it's windy. This stem's going to be darker. Lily cuts through here, but I'm going to have to darken that one. This one's stem's turning green, so I'm going to... How far over do I want this guy? There's one there and one there. Okay, we could probably put... There's 4 there. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. One there. And another one we'll put... on that. Like so. And this other one... is going to have to be green at some point. And this other one is... So now let's get back into this green. Okay. Now let's get a darker brown here. And on these I'm just trying to stay on the right side, because the light's coming from the left. I try. I mean, see the light, it just kind of changes real quick. I want to fix this one. Alright, so let's get some brighter orange, really, really light orange. Okay, this white here.
Cat, I just jammed your head. I did not mean to jam your head. Do you see the little spider web?
I'm trying to record it. I have to edit this out.
Sorry.
Unless you want to be in the video.
What? I didn't realize you were doing that. Sorry. I didn't see.
Okay, well just try to be quiet. That's all.
But I like to talk to people, you know, and just ramble on about jibber jabber. You know? Lots of jibber jabber.
Okay. Let's just put these right here to highlight the orange.
You should sweep out here more often. Fucking bastard cat. Get over here.
Alright, let's try to add just a tiny bit of depth.
You're going to stay outside.
Just adding some orange bits. I'm trying to refrain from going out here too much. Trying to think of the overall idea here. Oops. I can help reinforce the edge. Well, if there is something there. And there's not really a leaf here, so I need to make that quite obvious.
I don't want to go in it. I don't care if I don't want to go in it. It's your room. You're going to sit here out with me. No, sit down. Sit.
I think I want to edit this part. It's too strong right now. So I get some of this. I'm going to keep it away from the edge.
What exactly are you mumbling?
I'm just talking like what I'm trying to paint. It doesn't really show up as mumbling on the phone. At least I don't. I mean,
Sounds like mumbling over here.
little bit of this yellow. Some of this yellow, I think. I want to. Yes, I don't want to put too much out here. Okay, there's grasses.
So you took a
There's
weed.
some suggestions.
Oh,
I think that's it. So let's go ahead and sign it and call it done.
okay. Thank you, David. Okay, that's enough. No, 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 no. Oh, God, we're all up here now. Shit. Sorry. Got it, Jamie. Come on. Yeah, I think so. What are you doing? No, come back here. You have to catch him. Yes.
Ooh,
You gotta go back in the house because you're turd.
it is done.
Come on.
No, not quite done yet. There's some more darks. Trying to put some more darks, continuation of this dark. A little bit of light. I think it would help to make it go a little better. I darken this up just a tad. Especially along the light. Just a tad. And it's right about, the lighting right now is right about where I left it. Yeah, I think that's about it. We'll put a couple more highlights in the stems. Just slowly going into this thick white. Some shapes I'm not quite liking just yet. That's quite the bugger to get right. I think I'm going to continue. That like that. And I think that's it. Am I going to call it done? Not quite sure yet. I'm going to put a little bit more yellow within these greens, even though they're dark. I think that's good, just like so. So it's not too dark. Just right. That's it. So I'm gonna call it done. Alright, well thank you for watching the video. Hope you like it. And can't wait to do the next painting and you get to watch that next video. Alright, bye for now. And here's the finished painting. And I made a couple adjustments once I got it back into the studio. Just mainly there's some shapes in the background. And I didn't touch any of the leaves or anything like that. So left it just as is. Trying to keep it fresh and not muddied. Yeah, it was a fun one to do. It was a little bit of a challenge, but it took 2 days on that because the light was changing so fast. Like every 10 minutes or so, the light on the leaves was changing because it was in dappled light and not in full sun. And so I kind of caught light on the leaves that I thought that would help make the leaves show up in a decent way without jumping around too much, which it's an easy thing to do, just to kind of keep adjusting the values. And I wanted to make sure there was some dark greens in there and the leaves, and punching up the dirt, making it a little bit darker in the pot kind of helped out just a little bit. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.